Hey, so what's good, YouTube? Welcome to the channel, your girl Natasha Nisha. So on today's topic, I'll be this one is for those who don't understand like what is a South African colored person, and personally I thought I knew until I didn't. So if you're just like me today, let's try and get some enlightenment on this topic. So disclaimer, I'll be doing this one from a place of little bit of bitterness and either ways. I don't mean to be hurtful, I don't mean to be offensive, but if you taking any offense, that's on you. Get yourself some healing and don't come for me in the comment section because I'm so over this. I'm like done already. I don't care. So yeah. So, there is this race divide here in South Africa, and there is this people of mixed breed or mixed heritage, let's call it, that are classified known as colored people. Um, but I personally don't know, like, what are those percentages or what is the sort that makes you a colored because um, nobody seems to know, in my humble opinion. So history will tell you of South Africa's history, like of those apartheid years. And during that time, we know that the white man was in control. The white man ruled and reigned here, and he divided the South African people. And so they were labeled and classified, And there is this thing about to divide and conquer, for control. We know the tactic, you know. So either way, South Africans were given four classifications. It was the white man, the colored person, the Indian person, and the black person. And the colored people were given a little bit more privileges than the black man and were used as a buffer between the white man and the black person. And like how some of the um, things in America, there was the house slaves versus those slaves that worked in the sun in the field. So there was this difference. So the colored person we can call were like likened to the house slaves that had it a little bit easier. And so I sit here today still trying to figure out what is a colored person. All my earlier life, I identified as one, but today I don't. And so I'm still trying to figure out like what is a colored person? What makes one a colored? Is it your hair? And there again, it's not the hair because there's some with like long curly hair, and then there's others with pitted hair, you know, and like just dots and tufts of hair that doesn't really grow. So there's this variety in the race. So it still leaves me the more confused. Then I start to wonder, fine, is it your skin complexion that makes you colored? And then you find that there's some that are super dark skinned and there's some of the other extreme who are very light skinned and they are all colored people. So it's not your skin complexion that makes you colored. Is it the language? There are those, it will depend on the province you are because many of those in Western Cape will speak Afrikaans, but if you go to the south, like Durban and KwaZulu Natal, there's no Afrikaans there, and they will tell you that we don't do that here, basically. So it's not the language, and yeah, so it all sounds confused. It all just sounds confused, and it leaves me confused ever the more. And yeah, so basically, it's just this older generation of people who are clinging to those labels of apartheid because it benefited them. They were more privileged, they were seen as better than their fellow men. It gave them some status, a little bit of privilege, and a bit of a pause. And they want to cling on to that, you know? And yeah, that's what I've come now to understand. That it's a lot of the older generation who are clinging on to those shackles of the past, and they never really took the time to question, you know, anything. They just accept the labels that were given them. So, you know, also growing up, there was this thing that, like, you are whatever your father is, you know. Enter Tyler. Yeah, so shout out to our beautiful, talented Tyler. Love you to bits in pieces. But I just have to mention that, you know, like Tyler's mom is clearly colored, but Tyler's dad, even the surname Seedle, is actually more Indian to me. I would have thought. Either ways, it doesn't really matter. She's still a beautiful South African, you know. And so there is this thing that I want to get to actually, that, like, you know, everyone wants to be a colored, because if you were a colored, it kind of made you cooler. It made you look cooler. And I don't know if that's why Tyler is maybe you know, linked herself there. I don't know. Either ways, it's super sad, you know, to find that today in society, it's that same very group of people classified as colored who are the most challenged by the social evils of today. They are the most challenged by alcoholism, gangsterism, school dropout, teen pregnancy, and just becoming drifters through life, you know. And sadly, I'm a product of that. And so, you know, like, yeah, that's just some of it. And almost to be a colored person, you need to fit into this box. It's like you need to be like wild, you know, like to like just I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying super hard not to offend anybody. But either ways, it's like, yeah, you need to fit into this box, and no one really knows what is the box, because it's different wherever you go, kind of a thing, you know. If you go to the south, there's different things that will make you a colored, and if you come up here to the Western Cape, there's different things that will also make you colored, because if you can ask all my neighbors who are colored, they will tell you straight that I'm no colored. I'm a darky sailor. So there's that, you know, like everyone understands it and interprets it and sees it their own way. There's nothing standard, kind of a thing, you know. It's just confusion. As I said earlier, it all sounds super confused. So either ways, yeah, you know. And personally for me, I don't put that box anymore. I'm much bigger than that box. I'm so much more than that. You know, there's like a set behavior that you need to follow, and a set dress code, and a set kind of a things, and like I'm evolved, and I'm free from all of that, you know. I don't put the box anymore, you know. Yeah, so that's just some of what I've come to realize, and that's what I'm living also, you know. Yeah, and so I actually prefer the way either to be just, if you want to do race, it's either just to be black or white, And then if you're not black, you're white, and if you're not white, you're black. Simple. Or even better, just don't even go to the color thing and just be a human being. Let us just strive to be good human beings, and that's what matters more to me than color, than outer appearance. So I hope I got out what I wanted to say here. But yeah, it's just still in South Africa I find that there's a lot of healing that still needs to take place, you know, and yeah, and need to learn, unlearn, relearn some of the lies of the past that is dividing, keeping people still divide, and keeping people in the mindset of them and us, and I'm better than you, and what have because intrinsically we all just human beings. And so I think this is all I have to say on this topic. And you're on the session, Nisha, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.